And we are back for week 8, your morning show, your fantasy football start sit morning show. We've had a couple weeks off. Matt went and got some random girl pregnant, and now they have a child. Congratulations to you and your wife.
Thank you.
Child.
Thank you.
How's the sleep been?
Not terrible, not great, but not terrible.
Better than the first time around?
No. First child was a good sleeper right from the beginning.
Oh, so not so much on the second one.
No. I think I'm going to close that window behind me.
Okay. And while Matt is up, we can admire his physique. He's been working out, clearly. So, yeah, we've been off for 3 weeks because of babies. So, again, congratulations to Matt. If you are in the chat today, make sure to drop a congrats to Matt on the child. That made a huge difference. I don't know why I didn't close the other window on the left because that would have been also good. Surprise out today. Calvin Ridley is out. I just had to edit a bunch of my lineups because I had a lot of shares of Calvin Ridley to move out. And make sure if you have Calvin Ridley in the starting lineup that you are taking him out because he is out for personal reasons today. Another surprise inactive, Jamal Williams, is out. So Deandre Swift stock going higher and higher. I heard somebody thinking that he was the number one asset in dynasty leagues. Matt, your thoughts on Deandre Swift as the number one asset in dynasty leagues?
I actually heard some people, I saw some stuff like that on Twitter this week as well, or last week, whenever it was, but not quite number one for me.
Same. I mean, definitely in the conversation, but I don't think he's that high for me. Some
like
other inactives, Julio Jones, Corey Davis, that we knew about those. So let's get into it, and let's start off the show with everyone's favorite segment and mine, Matt's weather forecast. Matt, how's the weather?
Looks like it's going to be pretty good for the most part here. There's possibly some rain in the Dolphins-Bills game. It doesn't look like anything that would really significantly affect anybody. And a little bit of wind in Chicago, but looks pretty clean for late October. It's actually a really nice weekend.
Fantastic. Reaction to Thursday Night Football. Your Green Bay Packers going into Arizona and beating the undefeated Cardinals. What are your thoughts here? Like, this was huge.
Well, Arizona had a lot of injuries, so it was.
Well, the Packers were missing Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard,
and MVS and Jair Alexander and Bakhtiari and Zadarius Smith,
and yet they still won.
Yeah. No, I was just laughing. One of the ESPN reporter for Arizona was saying because of the Cardinals' injuries they lost. So that's
funny. That makes sense because the Packers didn't have any of their own.
Yeah.
Okay, it is now time for my least favorite segment on the show, and that's everybody helps me set my lineup because I don't know what to do with this one. So I'm going to throw it on the screen here. This is a super flex lineup. Let's see how big I can make it. I wish I could just make this full screen. Let's make this smaller. Okay, so Tannehill's in. I brought up Elijah Mitchell from the practice squad, who is now starting. Javonte Williams, who you really like, is in the starting lineup. And Jarvis Landry, Higgins, Crowder are in here. In the flex, we have Goddard and Sutton. So I like Sutton. The only reason he's in the flex is because of the time of the game. But I feel like there could be something with these wide receivers and Dallas Goedert here. So let's take a look at what's available on the bench. There is Melvin Gordon, who could be put into the flex.
I wouldn't start both Bronco backs. I've
been doing that for weeks. There's also Odell Beckham, who could be put in. Mooney, if you like Mooney. And then there's Sterling Shepard, who is questionable. And I do have Josh Gordon to flip in for Shepard if we went that route. So risky, but I do have somebody who could maybe get some points.
Yeah, that's
going to do it. So do you think this is the optimal lineup, or would you put Beckham in, or would you put Gordon in?
I wouldn't put Gordon in. I mean, if I was certain Shepard was playing, I'd have him in over like Crowder, but.
Well, I like Crowder with Corey Davis not playing. I think Crowder is a safer play than him. I like Landry just because Odell Beckham sucks and Donovan Peoples-Jones is out.
Yeah.
And T. Higgins kind of start him and Dallas Goedert in the flex. So you good with this?
Is this tight end premium or no?
No, it's not.
No.
But I still
I'd still leave Goddard, I think.
Yeah. Wait, here's what I could do. Boom. Done.
Sweet. And you're going to take out Kelsey now?
I'm going to put Shepard in for Kelsey, and if Shepard can't go, then I'll play Kelsey. That's a smart play, right? Perfect backup.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the help. Let's get on to the rankings, where we have some issues between our rankings. If you have any questions, please comment. Let us know. We're here to answer your questions, and we just do the rest of the stuff to just kind of fill time in between your questions. It's all about your questions. Ask your questions. Matt, Jameis Winston. I like him as a top 10 quarterback this week as a revenge game against Tampa Bay at home. He's going to be fired up. He's going to be wanting to destroy his old team, who got rid of him for no reason. It's not like they did better without him. Oh, wait, they won the Super Bowl. Why do you not think that revenge is a real thing, Matt? Just
not the way the Saints run their offense this year. They're very conservative. They don't take shots. They're going to milk you down the field. It's going to be hard they're not going to be able to run. So, I mean, that they've got going for them. But I think it's just been a lot of dink and dunk to Kamara.
That sounds great for me. With my prop bet of Kamara getting over, I can't remember what it was, 45 rush or receiving yards. So
yeah, he'll have maybe 2 touchdowns and a couple hundred yards, but that's not that significant in my opinion. I'm hoping for a decent day from Traquan Smith, but that's it. It's just not actually, somebody brought up that Jameis didn't forget about the quote from Bruce Arians saying that, that if he could win with Jameis, then he can win with any quarterback. Back when Jameis was still there.
There's legit revenge. I know I like to throw around revenge game all the time, but there is legit bad blood here. He's got to be pretty upset that he got knocked out. Then they win the Super Bowl without him, and
they had a little bit of an upgrade at quarterback.
Just a little bit.
Not much, but little.
Tua, you like him this week going against Buffalo. I don't. Last 2 games against Buffalo have been atrocious for the Dolphins. I believe they got skunked earlier this year. And then last year, end of the season, when they were resting all their starters, they still destroyed them. And Tua had 3 or 5 interceptions that game. So why do you like Tua in this matchup? I believe it is at Buffalo.
He's been better lately. He's had a couple
good lately.
Good weeks in a row. Keep riding the momentum. Devontae Parker back. They're not going to run a whole lot because
Will Fuller back?
No, Will Fuller's not back.
Not back.
No. Top 15 quarterback, not top. You're not starting him outside of a 2 quarterback league, in my opinion.
That's fair. I'm fine with that. Derek Real with a comment. Glad y'all are back. How the fellas doing? I'm doing great. Matt's been having some sleepless nights, maybe. I don't know. Said this baby
not sleep net less, but 3 to 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night.
And here he is dedicating his time to help you with your fantasy football team. Big round of applause. Make sure to congratulate Matt in the comments.
If I'm wrong, then that's why.
The last quarterback to talk about is Jared Goff. Matt, you are not a fan of Goff. I have him at 16. I think again, in a 2 quarterback league, he's a nice second quarterback to have. Matt, why don't you like him? What is it about this matchup against the Eagles?
He's been pretty good overall. And also Jared Goff does better in garbage time, and there's probably not going to be garbage time in this game. They will be close.
But it should be a competitive game. They have a chance to win this game.
Yes.
So I like that part.
That's, and Goff is usually racking up yards and points at the end of the games when they're blown out. But not going to happen this week. Likely.
Okay.
That's why I don't care for him.
They could still get blown out. They're still the Lions, right?
Yeah.
Love the dedication, Maddie. Congrats. There it is. First congrats of the day. We expect to get at least 1,000, if not 1 million of those. Cordorelle Patterson, a running back. These numbers are wrong. Let me get the correct numbers. I think you have them a lot higher. I'm just going to pull up the rankings here. Of course, you can find our full rankings at blueduckfantasy.com. We have weekly rankings, rest of season rankings, rookie rankings, not that you need those anymore, and dynasty rankings that have not been updated in a while. Let's skip over to Zach Moss. Matt, I like him because I do believe that it's going to be a blowout for the Bills-Dolphins, and I think when you just look at game script, it's going to be a lot of running and a whole lot less throwing when they get way up on the Dolphins as they have the last 2 games that they played. Why do you not have this person in the top 25?
I don't think it's going to be like a blowout, and even if it is, Buffalo still passes. They don't just go straight to the run if they're up quite a bit. They're pass heavy offense.
If they're up by 40, like they have been on them,
they still do that. They still keep passing. They're not going to just sit there and he's not going to get 20 carries, Zach Moss. He's going to be like probably in that 15-ish.
That's pretty high for him.
Yeah, if they're blowing him out, that's going to say.
And I think he gets a touchdown, if not 2 today. So I do like Zach Moss as a decent start as your RB2.
I hope you have that as a prop then, as Zach Moss for a touchdown.
No, I don't really like betting on touchdowns. They're pretty fluky, whereas like yardage, you can kind of game script that. But who knows what could happen, right? Like Singletary can make it from the 15, or it could be Singletary's time when they actually run one in. So
could be Josh Allen too.
It could be who?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, of course. It could be anyone. That's why I don't like betting on touchdowns when it comes to props. Derek Rial's here with a question. Full PPR. Pick one for the flex. We have Jarvis Landry, Cleveland wide receiver. David Johnson, the running back to own for the Houston Texans. Samaje Perine in a game where they were playing the Jets and could be up by 40 by the half, and it could be Perine in the garbage time, or Devin Singletary in another game that could be a blowout. It's full PPR. You think Jarvis Landry is a pick here pretty easily?
I'm thinking Jarvis, yeah. I mean, you could go with DJ if you think that it's just going to be a lot of dink and dunk at the end of the game, just as because the Rams are just blowing him out, and they're playing way off. But you're gambling on that.
Yeah, you're gambling for the high ceiling in David Johnson, whereas you're getting the safe high floor with Jarvis Landry, especially in PPR. Like he should catch 6 for 60 to 80. Guaranteed. Could have a touchdown there. Could break a big one as well.
No worries about Baker there?
Pardon me?
No worries about Baker's arm?
No, it's his other arm. And I mean, Baker sucks anyways. How bad could he be? I think it's pretty easy to get the ball to Jarvis Landry.
Yes.
I'd be more worried about Odell Beckham because maybe he can't throw it that deep to him. And I mean, Beckham's been terrible, so I wouldn't go that way at all. Another question here from Dustin Holland. Welcome back to the show, Dustin. Jerry Jeudy or Michael Carter flex in standard? Interesting. I think I'm still going Michael Carter just because I'm not ready to put Jerry Jeudy out there. I know he missed practice at some point this week, but they said they were giving him the day off because he was sore. It's not Friday, really a good sign. Not a bad sign, but I'll go Carter here, just safer play.
In standard, yeah. I mean, because I've got them both around 30 in their respective positional categories. I would go running back then.
Yeah, even though he is a pass-catching running back. Even in PPR, I would still go Michael Carter as well.
Closer, but yeah, I think I picked Michael Carter in my DK over Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy, I'm just not – I got to see it. Show me 1 week of him, what the offense is going to look like.
Washington's pass defense isn't very good, but they started to come around a little bit against the Packers last week with the pass rush at least. So that's going to help. But anyhow. So –
Mike here with a comment. Welcome back, boys. Glad to see you. Glad to be back. We've missed all of you and your hilarious questions. We're hoping to get a lot of them today. Let's get back to the verses here. We do have the Cordorelle Patterson line now complete. Matt, you have him as basically got to start him, top 20 running back. I have him outside of 28. I know he puts up points, but I just can't rank him that high.
Trust me, it felt really strange to have him in the top 20, but until he doesn't do it. And now with Ridley out, he's going to be.
Yeah, the Ridley out really actually helps him, and I would move him up the rankings now, but the Ridley out coming just a little bit too late for me to update them. Question here from Mike, full PPR in the flex. Claypool, Michael Carter, or Marvin Jones? I really like Claypool. I think with Juju out, with Ebron out, I think Claypool gets a lot of targets today. I betting the prop on the Deontay Johnson over 6.5 catches. I think that's a good bet. Honestly, if they had a 5.5 for Claypool, I'd bet that as well on the over. So I do like him catching some passes today. Michael Carter, not a bad start. Marvin Jones would be the one I wouldn't even consider. Like he could have a big game, but who knows what's going to happen.
The order that he's got them listed in is the order that I would rank them as well. Very
well said. Derek Ruel back with a standard scoring, so non-PPR question. Singletary, Jacoby Myers, or Samaje Perine? I think you got to go Singletary here. I see you have Perine.
You can't go Perine.
You can't pick. It'd be like saying Sony Michel. Like, yes, they could blow out Houston and Sony could get a decent amount of work, but betting on a blowout game and the backup running back coming in is just not something I'd be willing to do. And I know that Singletary isn't exactly the starter, but he's guaranteed to get more touches than Samaje Perine, no matter, regardless of game script. And in order for Perine to even come close to them, they have to blow him out. So
yeah, I agree. I think Singletary.
On to Javonte Williams. Now, Matt, you have both of the Denver running backs close together.
Yeah.
You have
I never know which one. It's just going to be
Gordon at 26 versus 24. I have it 33-34. I just don't I don't know what you like about these running backs this week more than usual, because they're not usually top 25 plays and only 2 teams on bye. So what is it that you like about this Washington matchup in order to put them about 10 spots higher than I have them?
I think this is kind of where I always have them pretty well, though. That's it's my standard mid-20 range for the 2 backs. You can't decipher one or the other. They're either within a spot or 2 of each other. But so
you like both of them more than Michael Carter and Zach Moss, correct?
Yeah, but having said that, if I had both of them, I wouldn't start them both over the 2.
Okay, but why? Because they've both been pretty even. They get the same amount of touches every week.
It's a mental block for me to start the same team.
Oh, see, I look at it the other way. No matter which one I'm starting, they're either both going to do well or one's going to do well and the other one's not going to do well. I know I'm not getting RB1 value out of them, but I'm getting borderline RB2s from each of them. And I'm like, okay, it's not ideal, but during bye weeks, it's okay. All right, we got another comment here from Mike. Full PPR in the flex spot, Devonte Booker, Alex Collins. That's Devonte Booker. I think Alex Collins is not 100%, groin issue. And just watching the game last week, even though he got a lot of touches, the other running backs were involved as well, a lot more than I expect to see any other running back for the Giants involved.
I think I would go Collins. I think that Seattle's going to have to go to rushing more because Gino Smith is just really not very good. And Penny didn't look very good either. So and Carson's obviously out of the picture. So I would go Collins there.
But you're not worried about his groin issue?
No, he's been practicing. So if it was really bad, I don't think he'd even be practicing.
Do you have firsthand knowledge of Alex Collins' groin?
I do not.
Okay. So you're speculating that his groin is okay. You have not personally inspected it.
I have not. No.
Okay.
I've got.
Neither have I.
It looks like we actually both have Collins higher. So
yeah, by a couple spots, but
I don't. I also don't think Booker's that trustworthy. Just that you kind of bank hoping for a touchdown. He doesn't catch a lot of balls, and they're gonna get more receivers back with Tony and
high scoring game with the Chiefs though, so you could see him be more of a pass catcher this week, or should be more of a pass catcher this week.
Maybe
do like Daniel Jones as a starting quarterback this week. But thanks for the question. Boston Scott, Matt, big fan of Boston Scott. You have him ahead of Kenny Gainwell, by the way.
Is this do I?
It's PPR. You're on the Boston Scott train. Boston Scott is the man. Got more carries than him last week after the Sanders injury.
Yeah, okay. These are 2 that I have close again. Yeah, I think Boston Scott's going to get more of the early down work. I don't think Kenny Gainwell's going to get like the first and second down. I think he's going to be sitting to the similar role that he had when Sanders. Well, maybe not quite to that extent, but I think that Boston Scott's going to be more they're running when they want to run the ball. They're going to use him more. And he does catch balls. Like this isn't someone that can't catch.
Well, he's more of a Kenny Gainwell type of player. That's why it's odd that you think he's going to get the first and second down work. Do you think there's a chance? And actually, what percentage chance do you think that Jordan Howard gets the first and second down work?
Somebody was telling me actually yesterday that they were reading that Jordan Howard is going to be the early down back.
Could.
And he could be because he can't catch. We know that.
No, but he can run still a little bit, maybe.
No, I don't think so because he's on the practice squad for a reason. And they run the ball like maybe 5 times when they had Miles Sanders. So I don't think he's going to be a factor.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got excited for Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott, and then the Jordan Howard came into the equation. The thing is, this team doesn't run the ball with their backs. They run the ball with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts will probably lead the team in rushing attempts this week, something like 10. And then you'll see Boston Scott maybe with 9 and Kenny Gainwell maybe with like 5 or 6. Unless Jordan Howard gets that 9 share, and then the other guys split the 5 and 6. The Lions are a bad defense, easy to run on, but this coach doesn't seem to understand what a running game is and would just rather have his quarterback run around in the pocket trying to find these garbage wide receivers. Well, they do have one good wide receiver and a good tight end now. They don't have to split the time, but I don't know. I'm not excited for any of these Philly backs. Even though they were the best ads on the waiver wire, they still weren't very good and, lower expectations for them. Another question here from Derek Riel. Do any of the fellas have a who do you think you are? I am player of the week. Matt, we'll push this one to you right now since you usually have one of these.
Okay, let me find one. Let's see here.
I mean, it could be a Joe Mixon one. This is a running matchup where the Patriots ran all over them last week against the Jets, that is.
But what I've been going with this kind of prop is somebody that's not been that good. He's going to just come out and show himself today.
Joe Mixon really hasn't been all that great. What about Antonio Gibson? He would fit that hasn't been that great mold.
He would fit that, but I don't trust him that much today.
What about somebody like Daryl Williams, who didn't really do much last week, although the whole Chiefs team didn't do much last week?
Chiefs didn't do anything last week, yeah. I'll find one for you. Just give me a second. I'm going outside of running backs because I can't find one in there that I.
Yeah, I was looking at running backs. Devonte Williams would have been the only one, but I don't think you're that ready to go on him.
No. How about Michael Pittman Jr.?
He had a big week last week.
I know. You could have let that one slide.
No, he's had a couple big weeks now. He's done basically more than we've expected from him.
Then
say Allen Robinson.
Not Allen Robinson.
What about Laviska?
I don't like those. I don't know. I picked up Seattle defense in quite a few leagues this week just to.
Interesting. What about Robbie Anderson?
Well, without Marshall, that'd be better for him, but he's still not that great. Let's just go with there's nobody I like that much, honestly.
Okay, so we'll come back to that instead of Matt just blabbering about all the players he doesn't like. And let's talk about the strangest ever rankings gap that we've ever had. Here it is. Adam Thielen at 10 for me. Matt has him at 27. Matt, tell me why I shouldn't have Thielen this high.
Tell me why you do have him that high.
I just think this is going to be a high-scoring matchup. Now, I am expecting Dak to play, and I do think that this is going to be like a high 30s game. So because of that, every wide receiver gets a little boost. So I have him that high because I think both him and Jefferson is going to have big games. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, and that's all I have.
Is this strange just because usually we're reversed on this guy?
It's because I hate Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen is not very good every year, and then every year he's better than I expect him to be. And I don't usually have him this high in the rankings.
I've got some reservation about Dak actually playing. It seems very 50-50 right now. And I think they're going to be – well, Jefferson obviously I've got higher of the two, which you do as well, which is consistent. Yeah. Not buying Thielen this week. I think that Jefferson is going to be the guy. Dalvin Cook is probably back at 100% or close to it anyway. That's my thought on him. I don't just don't see him having a huge day today.
All right, let's talk about Chase Claypool. We both there's only 8 spots difference here. You have him in the high flex. I have him in the starting range. We talked about he's probably going to get a lot more looks with Juju out, with Ebron out. What would you need in order for him to become inside the top 20 for you? Who do you have?
He needs to be just more a little bit more consistent. The second wide receiver in an offense where the quarterback is really struggling is really hard to rank that high.
Yeah.
And Naji Harris is coming along really nice, so he's going to be a big part of their week-to-week plans as well.
Can we stop calling him a running back and just call him a pass catcher at this point? Because, he's not really doing much on the ground.
But they try.
Yeah, they try. He gets plenty of touches. They just don't go very well.
I think that's if they prove that he gets if he gets 10 targets or something today, then I'll still keep moving him up. But
I can definitely see 10 targets for Claypool today.
I could see it, but I think Denzel Ward's out, and
that sounds like good news.
Clowney's out, not that he's been super good this year, but
he's usually not on the stat page, but he usually has a pretty big impact on the games.
So if if Ben can show me a little bit more today, then I'll move him up. But I'm still okay starting him.
Somebody who could easily get 10 targets today as well. Jaylen Waddle, Matt, you have him as a start. I don't. As you mentioned, Parker back. Preston Williams is out. You're saying Will Fuller not playing?
Right.
Can you confirm that?
I don't even think he's activated off of IR. I will double check that for you because you're putting some doubt in there, but I don't think so.
Well, he was a popular pickup on the waiver wire this week. But if you're saying he's still not going.
He's not on here. No. He's not playing.
Okay. So Will Fuller not playing. This should be a blowout game the way I see it for the Bills. So there could be a lot of garbage time, and Jaylen Waddle is a high reception guy when he gets going.
Yep.
He had his big 10 for 72 and 2 touchdown game a couple weeks ago. I believe that was against Jacksonville. The Dolphins keep losing. But yeah, I think he's got a high ceiling. I just don't know what the floor is because he's very he's been hit and miss. Really good or almost nothing.
But they, I mean, they've been trying to target him a lot. So I mean, I'm happy that that's gonna. I'm settled that they're gonna keep doing that. So I think that he's an okay floor guy. I think.
What about Manuel Sanders? You don't think there's anything here with him? He's had a lot of good games lately. He's gotten touchdowns. The yardage hasn't been fantastic, but it's been there.
Too many guys.
Too many guys, as in Cole Beasley?
Beasley and
Gabe Davis isn't a factor. Dawson Knox is out. So how is there too many guys this week for him to be not even in your top 40, man? Come on.
You said that it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, they're going to score some points early. Like you said, they don't run the ball. The points are going to come early from the wide receivers, and then it's going to be a running game.
How do you have him in the top 25?
How do I have him in the top 25?
Yeah. Just looking at other guys that you have him above, seems like
Pittman, Woods, Cooks, Higgins, Crowder, Shepard.
Waddle, that's.
I think he scores.
Maybe, but
Dawson Knox out is a big deal. That's a lot of touchdowns that are taken away, which could go to Manuel Sanders, could go to Diggs, but it opens up the field for more room for them because they're not going to be. I don't know who the backup tight end is. As a Holster, who?
Tommy Sweeney, I think his name is.
Okay,
I'm not 100% sure on the first name.
Not really thinking that he's going to have a big role, so I'm thinking the wide receivers are going to be a bit of a higher role. You have Cole Beasley a few spots ahead of Manuel Sanders. I have Cole Beasley, 12 spots behind because I think Sanders has become the guy on the other side that they use more consistently. It's not like Beasley can't have his games, but I do like Sanders to score today and 60 yards at least. Jameson Crowder, Matt, you also don't like, even though Corey Davis is out.
Yeah, I think
this is Elijah Moore's time.
I can't remember. I thought I moved him up, but I guess I moved up a different Jets receiver. I thought I moved up Crowder, but
all right,
maybe I moved up Elijah Moore.
And we'll get to your who do you think you are? I am player of the day, Tyler Lockett. And I'm defending my 49 spot on him with 2 words. They are Gino Smith.
Yeah. Well, 31 isn't a startable player, but it's still hard to move him completely out of the 3 wide receiver category.
Okay, how many catches do you think he has in his last 2 games with Gino starting?
I think on Monday he had 2.
Okay, how many do you think he had the week before?
Was that the Steelers game?
Don't know.
I don't know. Maybe 2, 3, 1.
Correct. 2. He has 4 for 47 in his last 2 games, and that's why he gets the 49 ranking. Just because
he's playing the Jaguars. It's a much easier defense.
It doesn't matter. It's still Gino Smith. Let's talk about one of the more interesting players that we're going to talk about today. Matt's wearing the colors for him, representing CJ Uzomah. I'm probably sure I didn't say that right because I saw the pronunciation, and I think it's Uzomah.
How am I wearing the colors for him?
Don't you have Bengals colors on? That's orange and black.
It's green and yellow. Check out your
green in that. Oh my god, it looks orange on my scene.
Bizarre.
I thought that was orange and black.
Matt,
I'm in the top 10. The man who catches 3 balls a game. Why do you have him so high?
2 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns per game is what he catches.
No, he gets 2 touchdowns per game.
2 touchdowns per game on 3 catches every game. Automatic.
They're playing the
never
Jets.
in doubt. They're always touchdowns. And like he's not even getting thrown to it in the end zone. He's catching it and then running 40 yards to the end zone.
Even better.
Yeah, because you can guarantee that's going to just keep happening. Missed tackles from the Jets.
Yeah.
Bank on it. Top 10 tight end. CJ Uzomah. A way better start than this next player because Matt hates anybody named Ben. We have Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah. No
Ebron. No Juju. He's like the fourth pass catcher on this team now. Yeah. Should be good for 5 or 6 catches, which in the tight end world is like 12 catches in the wide receiver world.
Should be like he's good for like 3 or 4 targets, maybe.
I think more now that Ebron's out.
Maybe a little bit more with Ebron out, but
yeah, I'm thinking 6 or 7. Versus your 3 guy, he gets 3. He gets 3 targets a game.
He gets touchdowns.
Okay, this is Frymuth's chance to prove himself, and I like it.
Show me first.
Okay,
Uzomah has shown us.
Yeah, I would easily start Freiermuth over this guy.
Right.
Not even close. 9-24.
Yeah.
All right, it is time.
I think the general public agrees with me on that one.
Yeah, probably, but you'll be wrong at the end of the day. If you want, let's bet it. Freiermuth versus Uzomah. We doing PPR or standard? Because it doesn't really matter to me.
I don't care.
PPR it is because my guy's gonna get more catches. All right, it's time to quiz Matt and see how much he knows about the fantasy football season so far, because he has not been at work for the last 3 weeks. I'm assuming he's going to do really bad, but let's see how he does with the top 5 quarterbacks in fantasy points per game in 2021 through 7 weeks. Does not count the Thursday game.
Let's go with Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is number 3 at 24.96 points per game.
You want to do the question in the here?
We got a question from Dean Tyree. Pick 3 half PPR: Cordorelle Patterson, Chuba Hubbard, Daryl Williams, or Khalil Herbert. I think the first 2 are locked in with the Calvin Ridley news. A good matchup for Chuba as well. So it comes down to Daryl Williams or Khalil Herbert. Matt, which one do you like there in half PPR?
I would go Williams. It's close, though. Very close.
I agree. It's close. I'm just checking my rankings here. I have Williams 1 spot behind Herbert. You have Williams 2 spots ahead of Herbert. Yeah. So I will say Herbert, but it's very close between those 2.
I think Herbert's got a higher floor, if that's what you're looking for.
That's true. Yep. Yeah. I would agree with that. And I would agree that Daryl Williams probably has the higher upside because that offense could score 8 times against the Giants today, and Daryl Williams could run a couple in or maybe catch one and bring it in. So
they will not score against the Giants today, FYI.
Monday.
Yeah, there you go. But depending on what you need there, Dean, if you need the high upside, go Williams. If you need the guaranteed points, I'd go Herbert.
And there you go. Thanks for the question, Dean. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Matt, you got Jalen Hurts. 4 to go.
Let's go Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is number 1. Almost a full point ahead of number 2.
All right. You're saying excluding Thursday, so I'll go Kyler then.
Kyler, number 4.
I don't know. I want to say Tom Brady, but I don't. He's had a couple of not so greats in the middle there.
You're welcome, Dean.
Okay, let's guess Brady.
Brady's number 2.
Okay, yeah.
So you're just missing number 5.
Okay.
You got 1. You got 2. You got 3. You got 4.
Is it Stafford?
Stafford is number 7. That is strike number 1.
Okay.
2 to go. Dirty Money's asking Debo or Thielen. I do believe we both have Debo.
I would go Debo.
Top 5.
Yeah, we're big Debo fans on this show.
We love Debo.
Yeah, probably a little bit too much, but
I mean,
he's done it. He's done it. He gets it done.
Kittle. He's the number 1 guy.
No Ayuk.
Well, no Ayuk in a way that Ayuk just doesn't do anything. Yeah. T to the S says Bears or Steelers defense this week. Okay, so we have the Bears playing against San Fran,
49ers
and the Steelers playing against Cleveland. I go Bears. Unless you think Baker's really going to throw a bunch of picks.
Yeah. I'm going to go Steelers with no
I
Khalil
just
Mack.
think Jimmy's more likely to throw a bunch of picks.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think the 49ers are more conservative, so it's going to be less likely that they're going to turn it over that much.
How many times did they turn it over on in that rain game on Sunday?
Well,
like 3 or 4?
That's a little bit of a. But there's no Khalil Mack for the Bears too. Remember that.
He's washed up.
Yeah.
One strike, Matt. We're looking for the top 5 quarterbacks in points per game. You're going to have to speed up your guesses here. We're going to have to put you on a clock.
How about? I don't think it's Rodgers. I don't think it's Mahomes. Well, let's guess Mahomes anyway.
Number 6, unfortunately, you don't get a strike for that, but
perfect.
You have 2 to go. Let's see.
How about Joe Burrow?
Incorrect. That is strike number 2. I don't know where he was. He wasn't close enough for me to care.
Really? Okay. This is points per game.
Points per game.
So it's probably not Cousins.
Incorrect. That is strikeout. It is Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Of course, he's not on this list because he's on bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was looking at our weekly rankings.
Yes. So you failed that, but we'll give you a pass because you weren't looking at the correct rankings. Top 5 running backs in points per game. Let's see how well you're going to do here. Let's see how many you can get.
This is PPR.
This is PPR.
I'll go Kamara.
Number 4, 20.2 points per game.
The King.
Number 1, King Henry, 26.6. A whole 5+ points better than number 2.
Swift.
Swift is number 5 at 19.6. You have 1, 4, and 5. Need 2 and 3. I don't think you get 2.
Sorry?
I don't think you get number 2. I would not have gotten number 2. I'll tell you that much right now.
So Cook's played a few games where he's gotten hurt, so I think that takes him out. And it's not going to be some weird McCaffrey thing, is it?
Number 6.
Okay.
Nah. We have talked about number 3 today. We have not talked about number 2 today.
We have talked about number 3. Then is probably Naji Harris.
Naji Harris at 20.2, just beating out Alvin Kamara for that 3rd spot by like literally 0.2 points.
And his points per game.
Points per game.
It's gonna be like somebody weird, like a.
Not weird. He's not weird. Like he's a top ranked back. I just didn't expect to see him at 2.
I don't think it's Zeke. He was not good.
No strikes, so you can start firing away here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go like Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor is incorrect. That's strike 1. I don't know where he was.
Let's go Eckler.
Eckler is correct. I would not have guessed that one. By the way, at number 7, your boy Cordorelle Patterson, 19.3.
Where was
congratulations?
Do you happen to know where Elijah Mitchell was? Because I almost threw him out there as like a weird points per game guy.
He played in a game where he got knocked out, I'm pretty sure. So I think that would crush him.
Probably.
Mike's got a question again. Alrighty, boys. Who is your Jenkied sleeper of the week? This is clearly in reference to you. Who is your sleeper of the week?
Let's go Michael Carter.
Michael Carter. You heard it here first. The sleeper of the week. Michael Carter playing against the Bengals.
That's an easier, like, just going to catch some late balls, I think.
I think he's in for a good game today. I mean, and they seem to move more towards him, running and catching the ball. He had a touchdown, and I think he had over 100 combined yards last week against the Patriots.
Yeah, this isn't even about the running, though. It's
more about the pass catching.
Yeah.
Because he gets more yards that way. All right.
Just catches, right? Like this. He's going to get like 7 or 8 catches probably.
To the second last segment, the penultimate segment, the top 5 wide receivers in fantasy points per game, PPR. If you're watching, if you're listening, make sure to, help him out. You're on the same team as Matt. Help him out. Give him some hints.
Cooper Kupp has got to be number 1.
Cooper Kupp, number 1 by over 5 points per game.
How about Mr. Devonte Adams?
Devonte Adams at number 5, 20.6. He has been pretty solid this year.
Just aside from week 1.
Well, that whole team was terrible that week.
Yeah. Let's go. Does Debo make the list?
Number 2.
That's so.
This is the Debo show. Should really put the Debo jersey up instead of Mixon if I thought we were going to have so much Debo conversation.
Jamar Chase.
Number 4.
Okay. So I've got 1, 2, and 4.
And you got
right?
5 as well.
No, 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, just missing 3.
Missing 3.
Mike Williams is the guess. I'll go with Mike Williams, sure.
Number 6, no strike for that one. We do have a comment. Somebody says Mike Williams.
That's where I picked it from.
Mike Williams, number 6, 20.1. Very good season for Mike Williams.
Tyreek
sweeps it. A strikeless number 7, Antonio Brown in 5 games, 19.1, by the way.
I wouldn't have guessed him because he wouldn't have been on this list. So
Cooper Kupp, Debo, Tyreek, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Mike Williams, and then Antonio Brown. Top 5 tight ends in fantasy points per game. This one might actually be the hardest one because usually it's the easiest one, but it might be the hardest one.
Let's go with. He hasn't been great for his standards, but I say Kelsey's going to be in there.
Number 2, 17.5.
Kels. Let's go with Kyle Pitts.
Number 5, 14.0.
See, a couple of these other tight ends have had poor games, so I don't know how much I'd killed them in this. But let's go with Hawk.
Not on the list.
He had a couple of bad games.
He's not even in the top 7. You going who?
Jasicki.
That is strike number 2, also not in the top 7.
Ooh.
Here's this hint for you. Somebody says Uzoma.
CJ Uzoma.
Is that going to be your guess?
Not with us. Well, not with 2 strikes first here. I'm going to try somebody else here. Let's go. This is tougher. I don't think Andrews has been all that good either. Who else is on by? Waller.
Number 6 staying alive, but not in the top 5. Still need you have 2 and 5. You need 1, 3, and 4.
Oh, there's the Waller guess that just came through right after.
Yeah. Waller, unfortunately, 6. Doesn't cost you a strike. You get to keep going. But you don't get one correct.
This is tough. I'll try Noah Fant.
I don't even think he's anywhere on the list.
Yeah. There's Goddard. Like there's Dalton Schultz. I was gonna guess. Should I have guessed
number
Dalton
4?
Yeah.
Number 3 is Mark Andrews.
Was it?
He had that one huge game that's brought up his average. Yeah. Didn't he get like a 2-touchdown, 120-yard performance one week?
That was when we were giving birth. That was that game I missed.
Oh, wow. Using his child as an excuse for not getting the correct answer on the Sunday show. Didn't even get number 1. Come on.
Gronk. Well, he doesn't count.
He played 3 games.
See, Uzoma was not on the list either, so I was right to avoid that one. Not on this.
He's only had the last 2-3 games. I mean, he's probably as high as Mo Alley Cox, right? They just have some touchdowns from time to time, and then by week 12, no one will even be talking about those guys. So
like, there's a lot of big names not on that list, like Hawk, Fant, Jasicki, Goddard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you have this guy there.
Yeah.
And 7 was Knox, by the way. So, I mean, they're not even top 7.
Like Higbee, yeah. Like Hunter Henry has been coming along a little bit.
How do you feel about Hunter Henry revenge game today against the Chargers?
I really wanted to put that in my DFS. I couldn't get him in, but I wanted to.
I mean, he scored the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He's not getting a lot of yardage, but he is the guy over Gino Smith going forward. And he's like a borderline top 10, like depending on who's on bye. He's like 10 to 15 range.
Donu is questionable to this week as well. So
that's just Bill playing mind games. That's all I have for the show today, Matt. Do you have anything that you want to say to the listeners, to the viewers, to your audience that have missed you while you've been away?
Just sorry we missed the last couple of weeks. Ben canceled the show.
No, you literally were having a baby.
Oh, there's a question.
Perfect. Daffy says start 2. Brandy Cooks, Cole Beasley, Jaylen Waddle, and Gaskin. Give me Cooks and Waddle.
Cooks and Waddle for me. I mean, this is assuming PPR, but
I mean, to me, Gaskin might as well be a wide receiver because they're not going to be running too much today, anyways. But yeah, I like Cooks and Waddle. I think Cooks going to be looking at a lot of garbage time. Cole Beasley, I mean, he's hit and miss, right? Like some weeks it's 13 targets, and then some weeks it's 4. So Jaylen Waddle, again, should be like chasing in garbage time. Gaskin could be okay. I don't think he's that far off Waddle because I think he's just going to be like the third receiver there. He's probably going to catch a handful of balls at least.
Well, they have what? Gesicki, Parker back, Waddle, then Gaskin.
Do you think Gaskin is behind Parker? Because I think he's ahead of Parker.
If they're trying to push it downfield, it's obviously going to be Parker.
Yeah, but they might just take whatever the defense gives them, and if it's garbage time, soft defense, in the flats, could be Gaskin a lot.
If it's garbage time, yeah.
Either way, it's still Cooks and Waddle ahead of the other two. Gaskin would be third for me. Mike's got a question, or says Matty X, the bus driver. Yeah, okay. LOL. Driving the bus.
That means laugh out loud.
Oh wow, I'd never heard that before.
I know that one for you.
Okay. We're going to do the thing that we do all the time. Let's talk about the best 5 games to watch. That was a question you were going to talk about.
There's another question there.
All right. Well, you want to read it off?
Flex, Michael Carter, Judge Judy, or Marquez Callaway.
Yeah. So the question is from Rockout. Thanks for the question, Rockout. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. So he wants to flex either Michael Carter, Jerry Judy, not Judge Judy, or Marquez Callaway in full PPR, and this is going to be Michael Carter. I think he's the highest floor, and he's got a pretty good ceiling. I do like Callaway in a DFS play or like a best ball play because I do believe in the Jameis Winston revenge game. But if I'm starting my lineup looking just to win, it's Michael Carter.
Michael Carter. I would put Judy and even over Callaway too. But
I mean, yeah, he's probably safer as well. But I mean, if you want that huge upside. In a DFS only, not in your starting lineup, because Carter's floor and upside are really good too. It's just Callaway's probably pretty cheap. I think I put him in my DFS. I don't know. I did it real quickly today.
I have Traquan Smith, as you know, in mine, just because I needed a cheap player.
Yeah, so yeah, Traquan Smith. Either of the wide receivers are good. All right, so we're gonna go through the games. We're gonna put this on the screen, and Matt, you tell me what the best games are to watch.
It's actually a pretty weak early game lineup that I noticed.
So this will probably be a decent game. Browns Steelers.
Yeah,
Titans Colts.
Yeah, those will be the 2 that are decent, I think, and then the rest are like.
I mean, nobody cares about these teams, and nobody cares about these teams, but those will probably be decent games. This could be a blowout. This will be a blowout. This definitely will be a blowout, and this will probably be game 5. Little Eagles Lions.
Yeah. Are you going out for Halloween? We could ask that.
No, I'm not going trick-or-treating. I am a grown man. I'm not going out trick-or-treating. Are you taking either of your children out trick-or-treating?
Yep, we're going we're going to a few places. A few houses tonight.
What time are you going at?
I don't know. Early, probably 6.
Well, if you make it over to my place, I have full-size chocolate bars.
I don't think I'll be making it that far. We're walking, so.
If you don't want a full-size chocolate bar, that's on you. I don't expect to get anybody because I haven't gotten anybody the last 2 years I've been here. But I have full-size chocolate bars if anybody shows up knocking on the door trick-or-treating.
My 3-year-old doesn't need a full-size chocolate bar, and my 3-week-year-old does not need that either.
You could use one. You could split it with them. Be like, teach them about tax. Like, take half of their chocolate bars.
Yeah.
All right, 10 minutes to go before the game start. We're going to wrap this up. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Appreciate Matt coming back so quickly after the birth of his second child. Congratulations on that again.
Thank you.
Your paternity leave. When are you back at work?
Professional work.
Thursday. Yeah, your other job that doesn't pay anywhere near what this one does, but
I'm unfortunately back on Thursday with that one.
That is a weird day to come back on, is it not?
Well, my shift was Wednesday to Saturday, and our work has 2 paid days of leave when you have a child. And then I took 2 weeks of vacation, and because it just the way the scheduling worked out, like the Monday was a holiday, so Tuesday was my first day off, and so I got Tuesday, Wednesday, so it's literally 2 weeks to that.
Interesting. 2 days is all you get when you have a child.
That's the complimentary, yes, and then you have to take vacation for the rest. Yeah.
Derek Real with the last comment of the day saying, "Thanks, fellas. That's going to wrap it up. Matt, last words?
Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. And hopefully you did both.
That's it.